The ATM screen blinked red. Insufficient funds. I stared at it, certain there was a mistake. I'd only tried to withdraw $40 for groceries. I tried again. Same message. My hands shook as I checked my balance on the small screen. Account balance, $247.18. That couldn't be right. That account had $127,000 in it last time I checked. My entire retirement savings, 40 years of teaching elementary school, every penny I'd managed to save from a modest salary. I left the ATM and sat in my car, fingers trembling as I pulled up my banking app. The balance confirmed it, $3,000. I scrolled through recent transactions, my vision blurring with tears. Transfer, $15,000 transfer, $8,500 transfer, $12,000 withdrawal, $20,000 transfer, $18,000 page after page of withdrawals, all authorized, all from the joint account holder. Vanessa, my daughter, had drained my life savings. I called the bank immediately. The representative confirmed what I already knew, but couldn't accept. Mrs. Phillips, these are all authorized transactions from the joint account holder, made over the past 6 months. But I didn't authorize them. The joint account holder has equal access. Legally, she doesn't need your permission. 3 years ago, I'd added Vanessa to my account. I'd had a health scare, a small stroke, and the doctor said I needed someone who could access my funds if something happened to me. It was supposed to be for emergencies. Not this, never this. Welcome to Elder Justice Revenge Stories. Could you please tell us where you're watching from? And if this is your first time visiting this page, kindly subscribe and turn the notification bell on so you don't miss out on other stories. Trust me, you'll want to hear how this one ends. I drove home in a daze, pulled into my driveway and sat there, unable to move. $127,000, gone. My retirement, my security, my future, stolen by my own daughter. I'd been saving that money since I was 23 years old. My husband James died when Vanessa was only 2. Military accident during a training exercise. One moment I had a partner, a future, a plan. The next moment I was a widow with a toddler and no idea how to survive. The military benefits helped, but they weren't enough. I got my teaching degree, started working at Lincoln Elementary, and I saved. Every single month, something went into that account. I clipped coupons, bought secondhand clothes, drove used cars until they literally died, never took vacations, never ate out unless it was a special occasion. Vanessa had everything she needed growing up: dance lessons, school trips, a nice prom dress, college tuition assistance. I made sure my sacrifices never became her burdens. But I was tired, 63 years old, retired last year after 35 years of teaching, and that $127,000 was supposed to carry me through. I'd planned small trips, maybe see the Grand Canyon, visit my sister in Oregon, have enough buffer that I wouldn't panic over a medical bill or car repair. I'd worked so hard for that security, and now it was gone. I sat in my kitchen that evening, bank statements spread across the table, and tried to understand how this happened. How does a daughter steal from her own mother? My friend Ruth called around 8. Former teaching colleague, retired the same year I did. Dorothy, you sound awful. What's wrong? I told her everything. Oh my God, Vanessa did this. The bank confirmed it. All legal withdrawals. She had access to the account. What did she say when you confronted her? I haven't yet. I just found out 2 hours ago. Dorothy, you need to call the police. She's my daughter. She's a thief. I knew Ruth was right, but calling the police on your own child? How do you do that? If you've ever been financially betrayed by family, comment with your heartbreak emoji. 8 months ago, Vanessa had introduced me to Kyle. Mom, this is Kyle Brennan. We've been seeing each other for a few weeks. He was 34, charming, good-looking in that rough way, some women find attractive. He'd shaken my hand, complimented my home, asked about my teaching career. Everything he said sounded right, but something felt wrong. I couldn't explain it, just a mother's instinct. "What do you do for work, Kyle?" I'd asked. "Sales, independent contractor. I move around a lot, different projects." Vague, no specifics. Over the following months, I noticed things. Kyle borrowed Vanessa's car constantly, always had emergencies that required money, never seemed to have a place of his own, staying with Vanessa in the apartment I helped her afford. My grandson, Tyler, disliked him immediately. "Grandma, something's off about that guy," he'd told me after their first meeting. "Give him a chance, sweetheart. Your mom seems happy. Mom seems desperate. That's different." Tyler was only 15, but he was perceptive, more than I'd given him credit for. Vanessa changed after Kyle. She'd been working as a dental hygienist, steady job, decent income. 3 months into their relationship, she quit. "Kyle and I are starting a business together," she'd explained. "I need to focus on that." "What kind of business?" "Import-export. It's complicated." Red flags everywhere. But I'd wanted to believe my daughter had finally found stability. Instead, she'd found a predator. Tyler had moved in with me 2 years ago when Vanessa was getting back on her feet after a bad breakup. The arrangement was supposed to be temporary. Now I was grateful he was here. Grateful I wasn't facing this alone. 4 months ago, Vanessa had asked to borrow $15,000. "Mom, I have an incredible investment opportunity. Kyle found this business that's expanding, and if we invest now, we'll triple our money in 6 months." "Vanessa, that sounds like... I know it sounds too good to be true, but I've seen the contracts. This is real." I'd hesitated. 15,000 was a significant amount, but Vanessa was my daughter, and she had access to the joint account anyway. "Okay, but I want to see paperwork. I want to understand what you're investing in." "Absolutely. I'll bring everything by next week." She never did. 3 weeks later, she'd needed another 20,000. "The business is expanding faster than expected. We need to invest more to maintain our percentage." I'd asked again to see documents. Again, she promised to bring them. Again, she didn't. 2 months ago, 35,000. Unexpected costs, supply chain issues. It's all part of business, Mom. Each time, I'd trusted her, believed her explanations, convinced myself she was finally building something. I'd told Ruth about the investments, excitedly shared that Vanessa was becoming an entrepreneur. "Have you met the business partners?" Ruth had asked. "Not yet, but Vanessa says they're very professional." "Dorothy, be careful. That's a lot of money." She's my daughter. She wouldn't lie to me. But she had, about everything. The business didn't exist. The investment opportunity was fiction. Every dollar had gone to Kyle. His legal fees, his debts, his drugs. His other life I knew nothing about. Tyler had been watching, noticing things I'd missed. New television in Vanessa's apartment, 65 inches, expensive brand. Designer clothes appearing in her closet. Purses that cost more than my monthly grocery budget. Kyle driving a new truck, wearing a Rolex watch. "Grandma, where's Mom getting money for all this stuff?" Tyler had asked me 6 weeks ago. "The business must be doing well." "What business?" "She doesn't go to an office. She doesn't have clients. She just sits around while Kyle comes and goes at weird hours." "Tyler, don't speak about your mother that way. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being observant." He was right, but I'd been in denial. The night everything crystallized for Tyler was 3 weeks ago. He'd gone to Vanessa's apartment to pick up some of his clothes, let himself in with his key, heard voices in the garage, Kyle and Vanessa talking. Tyler had stopped in the hallway, listened. "Your mom's loaded and doesn't even know it. Kyle's voice. She'll never miss it. I feel guilty. Vanessa sounded small, scared. Don't. She owes you for all those years of struggle. You're just taking what should have been yours anyway. She got military benefits when your dad died. Where'd all that money go? She spent it on herself. Now it's your turn. Lies. All lies. But Vanessa believed them. What if she finds out? She won't. And if she does, what's she going to do? Turn in her own daughter? She loves you too much. Tyler had heard enough. He'd left silently, driven back to my house, and started planning. He'd told me later, that's when I knew I had to protect you, because you wouldn't protect yourself. My 15-year-old grandson had become my defender. Tyler was smart, not just intelligent, but technologically sophisticated in ways my generation couldn't match. He started documenting everything, set up his old smartphone as a hidden camera in my garage. The garage where Kyle had started storing mysterious boxes, downloaded an app that tracked locations. He knew Vanessa's phone password from years of helping her with tech issues, created an encrypted digital folder to store evidence. He'd reached out to his best friend, Jake. They'd known each other since elementary school. I need help with something serious, Tyler had told him. Jake's father was Detective Marcus Williams. Tyler knew this connection might matter. Over the next 2 weeks, Tyler recorded conversations, tracked movements, documented Kyle's visitors at strange hours. He'd approach me about it, testing the waters. Grandma, why does Kyle have so many people coming to the house at midnight? I'm sure it's business related. What kind of business happens at 2 a.m.? Tyler, adults have complicated work schedules, but Tyler wasn't convinced, and he wasn't stopping. He'd captured Kyle and Vanessa arguing about the next withdrawal, recorded Kyle coaching Vanessa on what to tell me. Just say it's for expansion. She'll believe anything if you sound confident. Every recording went into the evidence folder. Tyler had created a spreadsheet tracking every withdrawal from my account, cross-referenced with expensive purchases appearing in Vanessa and Kyle's life. The math was damning. My 15-year-old grandson was building a case against his own mother because he loved me enough to do what I couldn't. Tyler confided in Jake during lunch at school. Dude, I need to show you something. He'd pulled out his phone, shown Jake the recordings, the tracking data, the financial spreadsheet. Jake's eyes had widened. Tyler, this is serious criminal stuff. I know. You have to tell someone. I'm telling you. I mean an adult, my dad. He's a detective. Tyler had hesitated. Telling Detective Williams meant making this official, meant his mother could face legal consequences. If I do that, my mom could go to jail. Your mom's being manipulated, Jake had said. My dad can help her too, but your grandma needs protection. They'd met after school, Tyler, Jake, and Detective Williams at a coffee shop downtown. Tyler had shown the detective everything. Marcus Williams had listened carefully, asked questions, examined the evidence with professional scrutiny. Tyler, how long have you been collecting this information? 3 weeks. On your own? Yes, sir. The detective had looked at this 15-year-old boy with something like respect. I'm going to tell you something, and it doesn't leave this table. We've been investigating Kyle Brennan for 4 months. Drug trafficking, fraud, identity theft. He's on our radar, but we haven't had enough evidence to move. Tyler's information changed that. What you've documented here could be exactly what we need. But Tyler, you understand this means your mother will be investigated too? I understand, but she's a victim too. He's manipulating her. We'll do everything we can to distinguish between criminal behavior and victimization, but I can't make promises. Tyler had nodded. I just want my grandma safe, whatever it takes. Detective Williams had shaken Tyler's hand. You're doing the right thing. That takes courage. Detective Williams shared what he legally could with Tyler. Kyle had warrants in 2 other states. Fraud in Nevada, identity theft in Oregon. He'd been operating under multiple aliases for 6 years. Tyler dug deeper on his own. Social media investigation, public record searches. That's how he found Amber Patterson. Facebook profile, public settings, photos going back 3 years. Kyle with his arm around a blonde woman. Kyle holding a baby. Kyle at a birthday party with a toddler on his lap. Captions that made Tyler's stomach turn. My man and me at the beach. Daddy-daughter day with my love. 3 years with this amazing man. The dates overlapped with his relationship with Vanessa. Kyle had been living a double life. Girlfriend in California, girlfriend in our state. Scamming both. Tyler screenshot everything, cross-referenced dates. The weekend Kyle told Vanessa he was working out of town. He'd been in San Diego with Amber and the kids. The business trip in March, birthday party for Amber's son. Tyler felt sick. His mother had been completely deceived. He'd shown Detective Williams the evidence. This fits his pattern, the detective had confirmed. Multiple victims, multiple locations, maximum financial extraction before moving on. Does my mom know? I doubt it. Men like Kyle are experts at compartmentalization. Tyler had wanted to tell Vanessa immediately, show her the truth. But Detective Williams advised patience. We need to catch him committing a bigger crime, something that guarantees prison time. If we move too soon, he'll just leave and find new victims. So Tyler waited, collected more evidence, and watched his mother fall deeper into a lie. Tyler reviewed his hidden camera footage every night. The garage recordings were disturbing. Kyle meeting with different people, 2, sometimes 3 a.m., exchanges of packages, cash changing hands. One video showed Kyle and another man dividing pills into small plastic bags. Tyler wasn't naive. He knew what he was seeing. Drug dealing, from our property. His fear intensified. If police raided the house, could Grandma be charged? Could his mom? He'd gone straight to Detective Williams with the footage. The detective had watched carefully. This is exactly what we needed. My grandma lives here. If you raid the place, we'll be strategic. Get your grandmother and mother clear of legal jeopardy while we build the case against Kyle. How? Let me worry about that. Your job is to keep collecting evidence and stay safe. Kyle's dangerous, Tyler. If he finds out what you're doing, he won't. I'm serious. Drug dealers don't react well to exposure. Promise me you'll be careful. I promise. But Tyler wasn't scared. He was angry. Angry that this criminal had wormed his way into their family. Angry that his mother was too blind to see it. Angry that his grandmother's life savings had funded a drug operation. If someone ever sabotaged your business or career, comment with your fire emoji. That anger fueled his determination. Tyler had been searching the house for documentation, trying to find proof of where the money actually went. In a box in the hallway closet, he'd found something worse than he'd imagined. Application for a reverse mortgage on my house, the house I'd paid off 15 years ago, the house that was supposed to be my security. He'd pulled out the paperwork, hands shaking. The signature looked like mine, but when Tyler compared it to my real signature on other documents, the differences were obvious. Someone had forged it. The application requested $180,000, nearly the full value of my home. If approved, Kyle and Vanessa would have access to almost double what they'd already stolen, and I'd be left with a mortgage I couldn't afford, at 63, on a fixed income. They were trying to make me homeless. Tyler photographed every page, sent them to Detective Williams immediately. The detective's response was swift. Don't let them know you found this. This is felony fraud, exactly what we need. The application was still pending. hadn't been approved yet. There was time to stop it. But Tyler's understanding of the situation had shifted. This wasn't just theft. This was a calculated plan to destroy me financially, to take everything. Kyle wasn't just a drug dealer. He was a predator who'd identified a vulnerable target and was systematically draining every resource. And Vanessa was either completely complicit or completely controlled. Tyler wasn't sure which was worse. Tyler couldn't keep the secret any longer. The night I'd discovered my empty bank account, I'd come home devastated, sat at the kitchen table, surrounded by bank statements, crying quietly. Tyler had found me there at midnight. "Grandma, what's wrong?" I'd looked up at my grandson, and the dam broke. "Tyler, the money's gone. All of it." He'd sat down across from me. "I know. You know? Grandma, I need to show you something." He'd pulled out his laptop, opened his encrypted folder, and showed me everything. The recordings of Kyle and Vanessa plotting, the tracking data showing Kyle's movements, the photos of Amber and the other family, the drug-dealing footage from our garage, the forged reverse mortgage application, all of it. I'd listened in growing horror, watched videos of my daughter conspiring to steal from me, seen evidence of the criminal I'd welcomed into our lives. "How long have you known?" I'd whispered. 3 weeks. I've been working with Detective Williams. We're building a case. Tyler, you're 15 years old. You shouldn't have to. Somebody had to protect you. You weren't going to protect yourself. He was right. I'd been blind, willfully ignorant, because facing the truth meant accepting my daughter's betrayal. "There's another woman," I'd said, looking at Amber's photos. "Another family. Kyle's been scamming her too. She's given him over $40,000. My daughter was one of multiple victims. Somehow that made it worse and better simultaneously. She'd been manipulated, but she'd also chosen to steal from me. What do we do?" I'd asked. "We let Detective Williams handle it. But Grandma, you need to decide. Do you press charges? Because legally, Mom had access to that account. It's complicated." I'd thought about it. My daughter, my only child, but also my future, my security, my life. I want my money back, and I want Kyle in prison, whatever that takes. Tyler had nodded. "Okay, then we move forward." He'd shown me the plan. The sting operation Detective Williams was coordinating. My 15-year-old grandson had orchestrated justice while I'd been in denial. Detective Williams brought me in officially the next day. Police station. Formal statement. Documentation of everything. "Mrs. Phillips, I want to be clear about something. Your daughter had legal access to that account. Prosecuting her for theft is complicated." "What about the forged reverse mortgage?" "That's felony fraud, clear crime, but we need to prove who actually forged it. Could have been Kyle, could have been Vanessa, could have been both." "So what do we do?" "We catch Kyle committing a bigger, undeniable crime, and we gather evidence that shows Vanessa's level of involvement or coercion. The plan was calculated. Leave my personal documents, Social Security card, passport, birth certificate, in an easily accessible kitchen drawer. Set up hidden cameras throughout the house. Wait for Kyle to make his move." "He's already shown willingness to commit identity fraud with the reverse mortgage," Detective Williams explained. "Guys like him can't resist an easy opportunity." I'd gone along with it, placed my documents exactly where they'd said, pretended to leave for a doctor's appointment. Tyler and I waited at a nearby coffee shop. 3 days later, it happened. Security footage showed Kyle entering the house with a key he'd obviously copied, searching through drawers, finding the documents, photographing each one with his phone. We'd watched it happen in real time, Tyler monitoring the camera feeds on his laptop. "He's doing it," Tyler had whispered. "He's actually doing it." 1 week later, alerts from the credit monitoring service I'd set up. Someone had attempted to open 3 credit cards in my name, all denied. But the attempts were documented, clear evidence of identity theft. Detective Williams called me personally. "We have everything we need. Warrant will be executed tomorrow morning." Tomorrow, Kyle Brennan's world would collapse. The raid happened at 6 a.m. Police surrounded the house. Detective Williams led the team. Tyler and I watched from my car, parked down the street. Officers entered with a warrant, searched the garage, the house, Vanessa's apartment, found exactly what Tyler's footage had shown: drugs, packaging materials, scales, burner phones, cash. Kyle was still in bed when they arrested him. Vanessa woke to police in her home, her boyfriend in handcuffs. "What's happening? What are you doing?" Detective Williams had shown her the warrant, explained the charges: identity theft, fraud, drug trafficking, forgery. "There must be a mistake. Kyle wouldn't. Mrs. Phillips, we need to talk to you as well." They'd brought Vanessa to the station, separated her from Kyle. Detective Williams sat with her in an interview room, showed her everything: the other girlfriend in California, the photos of Kyle with Amber and her children, the dates proving he'd been lying about his whereabouts, the drug operation he'd been running from her garage, the forged reverse mortgage with my signature, the recorded conversations of him coaching her to steal from me. Tyler and I watched through one-way glass. I saw my daughter's face as her world shattered, the realization that everything Kyle had told her was a lie. "He said he loved me," she'd whispered. "He said we were building a future together." "He manipulated you," Detective Williams had said, not unkindly. "But Vanessa, you took money from your mother. Whether you were manipulated or not, you made those withdrawals." He told me she owed me, that she'd had money from my dad's death benefits and spent it all on herself instead of saving it for me. That's not true. I know that now. Vanessa had broken down, cried until she couldn't breathe. They arrested her too, accessory to fraud, conspiracy. Tyler watched his mother being handcuffed, turned to me with tears streaming down his face. "I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry." I'd pulled him close. "You did the right thing. This isn't your fault. If you've ever had to expose a family member to protect someone you love, comment with your conflicted heart emoji." The prosecution offered Vanessa a deal: testify against Kyle, full cooperation. Detailed accounting of every transaction and where the money went. In exchange, probation instead of prison, restitution plan, mandatory therapy, conditions, no contact with Kyle, completion of program for domestic abuse survivors. Vanessa took it. Over the following weeks, she gave them everything, showed them bank records, text messages, emails, revealed how Kyle had isolated her from friends, convinced her to quit her job, made her financially dependent, then manipulated her into believing stealing from me was justified. He said you'd never really struggled, that you had military benefits and a teacher's pension, that you owed me for giving me a hard childhood. You didn't have a hard childhood. I know, but he made me rewrite my memories, made me see neglect where there was sacrifice. Classic manipulation. Vanessa had been a victim, but she'd also made choices. The prosecutor acknowledged both realities. Kyle faced 15 to 20 years on combined federal and state charges. The civil suit to recover my money moved forward. We recovered $31,000. Kyle's truck, seized and sold. Bank accounts frozen and emptied. Some cash found hidden in the house. Amber in California also filed claims. She'd given Kyle $45,000 over 3 years. Between both of us, we recovered about $60,000 total. Still missing $96,000. Likely spent, hidden, or simply gone. I'd never see most of it again. But Kyle would spend the next 2 decades in prison, and Vanessa would spend years paying me back. Some justice is better than none. 6 months later, life looked different. Vanessa lived in a small 1-bedroom apartment, worked 2 jobs, day shift at a dental office, evenings at a retail store. Every spare dollar went to restitution. She attended therapy twice a week, joined a support group for survivors of psychological abuse. Slowly, painfully, she was rebuilding herself. Her relationship with Tyler was complicated. Supervised visits at first, short conversations, long silences. "I love you, Mom," Tyler had told her during one visit, "but I can't trust you yet. You have to earn that back." "I know, I will, however long it takes." Tyler chose to stay with me, needed stability, needed to know the adults in his life were reliable. I understood. So did Vanessa. I'd gone back to work part-time, library aide at the local branch. The income helped, but more importantly, it gave me purpose. The community had rallied. Former students, now adults, organized a fundraiser. Teaching colleagues contributed. People I'd touched over 35 years of education gave back. They raised $22,000. I'd cried at the community center when they presented the check, overwhelmed by the reminder that I wasn't alone. Tyler was honored at a school assembly. The principal spoke about courage, integrity, doing the right thing even when it's hard. My grandson stood on that stage, 15 years old, and accepted recognition for saving his grandmother from financial ruin. Detective Williams attended, shook Tyler's hand. "Your grandson's evidence helped us put away a major criminal. He's a genuine hero." 3 months ago, Vanessa started dating someone new, a teacher at her support group, kind, stable, employed, transparent. She'd asked my opinion before the first date. "Mom, do you think I'm ready? Are you asking my permission or my advice?" Advice. Then I'd say, take it slow. Be honest with him about your past. And the moment something feels manipulative, run. She'd nodded. "I'm not the same person I was with Kyle." "I know, but healing isn't linear. Be patient with yourself." Tonight, Vanessa, Tyler, and I had dinner together. Weekly tradition we'd started 2 months ago. Still awkward sometimes. Still healing. "Mom, I got my first restitution payment," Vanessa said, handing me a check. $300. "I know it's not much. It's enough. Thank you." Tyler watched us both. My daughter trying to make amends, me trying to forgive. "Grandma, do you think you'll ever fully trust Mom again?" he asked. Honest question deserved honest answer. "I don't know. Trust has to be rebuilt brick by brick, but I love her, and love means I'm willing to try." Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. "I'm going to spend the rest of my life making this right. I know you will." After dinner, Tyler helped me wash dishes. "Do you think I did the right thing?" he asked quietly. "Turning in my own mom? You protected me when I couldn't protect myself. You chose truth over comfortable lies. Yes, Tyler, you did the right thing." It didn't feel right. It felt awful. The right thing often does. That's how you know it matters. 1 year later, I'd rebuilt my savings to $43,000. Vanessa had paid back $12,000. I'd never have the full amount again, but I had enough. Kyle was serving 18 years in federal prison. Vanessa was 2 months into a healthy relationship. Still in therapy, still working 2 jobs, still showing up. Tyler had a 4.0 GPA and college scouts interested in his academic achievements. Our family had been broken by betrayal, but we were healing, slowly, painfully, honestly. I looked at my grandson, this remarkable young man who'd saved more than my money. "Tyler, you taught me something important. Being loving doesn't mean being a doormat. Protecting someone sometimes means letting them face consequences. Real strength isn't about age or size. It's about character. You taught me that, Grandma. You taught me everything that matters. Then we taught each other. Some families don't survive betrayal. The wound is too deep, the trust too broken. But some families choose to survive, choose to do the hard work, choose healing over holding grudges. We chose survival. Tyler chose to protect me. Vanessa chose to get help and make restitution. I chose to forgive without forgetting. That's how families survive betrayal, with truth that hurts, consequences that teach, and love that's strong enough to demand better. My daughter stole from me. My grandson saved me. And together, we learned that family isn't just who you're born to. It's who shows up when everything falls apart. Thank you for watching this story on Elder Justice Revenge Stories. If this touched your heart, please subscribe and click that notification bell. Share this with anyone who's ever had to protect a loved one or make a hard choice for the right reasons. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments. And remember, real love sometimes means tough love. Protecting someone might mean letting them face the truth. No matter how painful, that's not betrayal, that's courage.